Third, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Fourth, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scripture and working independently or whimsically. Fifth, associating with worldly minded people who are uh, not interested in Krishna consciousness. And sixth, being too greedy for mundane achievements.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you very much. Yes, now please ask your questions. You start with your first question.
Yes, Roji. So I had two questions, Roji. The first one was from the synonyms that Srila Prabhupada had translated. So in the synonyms, Srila Prabhupada translated the last word vinashyati as is destroyed. So we understand that that these are do's and don'ts for bhakti, but like we studied before, that bhakti is not really ever destroyed. Whatever we do, it carries forward in our next life. So here Prabhupada translates vinashyati as is destroyed. So Rosie, if you can.
So there's six, if you follow the six, there are impediments in our bhakti. Yeah, six things. What are those things again? To read the translation again.
One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following six activities. First, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Second, over endeavoring for things that are very difficult to obtain. Third, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Fourth, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, and or following or rejecting the rules of or rejecting the scriptural rules and regulations and acting whimsically, independently or whimsically. Fifth, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And sixth, being greedy for mundane achievements.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. So for these, your question is that Prabhupada writes these are destroyed. Bhakti is destroyed. So in a way that we understand that bhakti is never destroyed. If you start at one point, it continues from point number two, whenever, either in this life or next life. Correct? So this is your question. Am I right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your question. That is correct. Your question is very valid. And here the meaning of destruction is this, that the purpose for which we are performing bhakti is destroyed. So the purpose for performance of bhakti is what? What is the purpose of our, anybody please? What is the purpose of our performing bhakti?
Love for Godhead, love for Krishna.
So what happens? What are we doing?
We are like aspiring for more and more devotional service.
We are reviving
Reviving is good.
our lost consciousness. Please never forget, this is a very basic point. When you all started your Krishna consciousness journey with us, the very first point which was taught is what Srila Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mentioned, that we all have our inherent love of Krishna, which we had, and we have forgotten it. So the process of reviving this love is Krishna consciousness. So it is within us, which we have forgotten because of our association with matter. Correct? This is the very first thing that we have taught you. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, so don't forget this. As we progress, we go to the next level now in the intermediate level. So we should not forget what we studied. This becomes the foundation. Similarly, what you're studying today becomes the foundation for your further studies. Because as we study more deep philosophy, then these are taken for granted. But you know this. You are expected to know this. Yeah. So that is the reason why we are in Hare Krishna weekend, we're a study group, so invest a lot of time in this. Yeah. And those who are not trained structurally, in a very structured manner, they'll come and they will speak about this level to this level, that level to this level. It's like a common thing for everybody. It's like an open program. Everybody asks everybody questions, they feel all good and walk away. And ultimately you ask them, what is Krishna consciousness? Or reviving Krishna consciousness. Love for God, that's what it is. Big philosophy comes down to this, which is correct, but we miss the process behind it. Okay? So remember this. Our process is to revive Krishna consciousness. It's our business. That's why we have to perform in bhakti. Okay? Now, in that performance of bhakti, we are reviving. The process of revival will remain incomplete in this lifetime if we are not particular about what we want to achieve, if we are not focused. Do you understand this? So we find many times that individuals, they are looking into this, they speak about this, they do this, they do that, they do that, they listen to here, they listen there, they listen this, listen there, everything they do. There's some of them who are a bit more studious, they study this, they study that, they study that, they study that, they study all these things. And I don't want to judge, and we cannot judge anybody's spiritual progress. It is none of our business. But our experience tells us that they end up at a similar level. So our revival remains incomplete. So what does it mean? If revival remains incomplete, then what does it mean? What happens?
We'll have to try for another life. Good.
Yes, that's correct. So that means we have to take birth again. And then again, we will get the impetus to start from that level again. Now, whether we'll get surrounding atmosphere for that or not, we do not know. Although Krishna says, yes, unsuccessful yogi is born in a rich aristocratic family or a Brahmana family. And then he can revive easily. But that is at a very high stage, unsuccessful yogi. But these 6 points are not for advanced yogis. They are beginners. Association with worldly minded people, interested only in food, or collecting more money all the time. And we discussed the difference between greed and what was the point we had spoken about? Atyahara.
Yes, it was about over endeavoring and greed, the difference between
Yes,
the two.
difference between over endeavoring and greed. So all these are for basic levels. So from this level, intermediate level onwards, we expect that because of these teachings of Srila Prabhupada that we are studying, we should be coming out of this level. Do you understand this? An advanced level. So these things should not be affecting us slowly. And you'll be in a very minority, even amongst devotee community. Let me tell you this. Because devotee community also, they want to say, I'm struggling, after so many years, I'm struggling, doing this, same things, Well, why? Aren't you studying? And after you're studying, why aren't you implementing? So your problem should be different. The problems cannot remain this basic level. Collecting more money, eating more, talking about other people, mundane subject matters, mundane matters. Those things one has to be very particular about. Yeah. So our destruction of bhakti, which means that we will take birth again. A mission remains incomplete. And next birth, we do not know whether we start from this level or we have to take another birth because there are so many other anarthas which also are fructifying. So what comes as priority, we do not know such things. You see. So we are in a very, very precarious condition. And human form of life is only where only life, only form of life where this can be discussed. Otherwise, in the higher form or lower forms, we are not interested. As Devanshi Mataji was writing in that the discussion that we had about adjustments, the life in the higher planetary system is also very high. Enjoyment is very heavy. Not interested in this. That's the reason why even demigods like Indra and Lord Brahma also try to test Krishna. So basically, it is as good or bad as a human form, without any level of understanding. So this is the meaning, and there's a little deeper meaning of what it means that our bhakti is destroyed. Don't try to keep it for the next birth, please, please. In fact, in this birth only we must finish it off, and you will know when you're finishing off. That's the reason why, as much as possible, we must structure our life and remain very focused and very, very intelligently we have to behave. So this verses, verse number 2, 3, 4 onwards, process of discrimination begins. And our life today, in the material life, people say you are too, what do they call it? You are too uh, what is the word they use? If we follow whatever they say, it's okay. But if we don't, then you are very opinionated. It's not opinionated. You have come to your senses that before whatever I was told, I was doing like a fool. And I'm enjoying and suffering because of those decisions, which I have not taken myself. But now I'm taking those decisions myself. That's it. That's the meaning of discrimination. And even in bhakti, even in your own book studies, you will have to discriminate. Even at very advanced stage of your spiritual realization, you will have to discriminate. Where will you put your mind? Whom should you listen to? Whom you should not? Doubting, doubting is a symptom of intelligence. So don't give away your doubts so easily. Everybody does something with some purpose. Unless you know what the purpose is, don't give in to what they decide for you. This is a free life advice. You should know why. And we are convinced about the why, then follow. Otherwise, people have got many, many side motives. Why they do something, why they don't do something. Why they speak something, why they don't speak something. Whole world is full of side motives. And in our bhakti, we want to not have any side motives with Krishna. We want to be very simple. And simplicity always has to be safeguarded. Remember this point. Simplicity has to be safeguarded. Honesty has to be safeguarded. because deceitness, speaking lies is very common. A very sharp intelligence is needed. And for that, studying of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then practically implementing that in our thinking is important. Only then our life will not be will be successful. Okay? Otherwise, life will be unsuccessful. Meaning this, take birth again, and all these things will happen again. Again, start from scratch. So we're not starting from scratch, starting from point one. And our past karmas will help us to think in a particular way. But still, the surrounding atmosphere may not be very conducive. So you will have to have very strong conviction to fight out again all odds. And again, Prabhupada books may not be so easily available then, or not available at all. Neither Guru Maharaj's teachings will be available. So what do we do? We are on our own. That is the meaning. Is that okay? Does it answer your question, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are you sure?
Yes, Prabhuji. The first point that you said, that the purpose of bhakti is destroyed.
Yes. That's it. Never forget this. Ever. Ever. Yeah. Okay. So now we go to second question then, if it is satisfied. Anyone else has to
Yes.
say anything on this? Anyone else wants to ask any point on this, what we discussed? Okay. Just continue. Second point.
I'll read out the second question, Prabhuji. This question I had when we were discussing about Niyamagraha, that is regarding rules and regulations. We were discussing about how we should not be attached to the rules and regulations. We were also talking about sannyas ashram. My question is that, is there any difference between the formal sannyas that is taken by devotees and what sannyas actually means, as in renouncing things? We had discussed the point before that at last we all have to be sannyasis, that we should not be attached to things. So is there any difference between formally taking it and practicing it?
Okay. Thank you for your question. Thank you very much. So you are saying formally, not formerly, correct? Should we take formal uh, uh, sannyas? Is a question. If you want to take, you can take.
I'm not asking if we should take, I'm asking, is there any difference between formally taking and actually renouncing things?
I don't follow. Is there a difference between formally taking and actually renouncing? It's the same thing. One is for showing that I've become a sannyasi now. And second is not to show, but you are implementing those things. But sannyasi also means you don't own anything. You can't own anything in your name. You want to do it? Do it. There are too many, even there rules and regulations, even in Kali Yuga, although sannyasi is not recommended at all, it is prohibited. But the prohibitions are there. But still, you will take sannyas for various reasons. So one of the things is that you cannot own anything in your name. Do you want to do this? And you have to depend upon other people's charity. You want to do this? Up to you. It is very difficult. If you're an organization, then their sannyasis are like 5-star. Many of them, they travel jet planes and disciples pay for all this. Good for them. Then you join some organization and become a sannyasi there and become His Holiness somewhere in heaven, have a jet set life or whatever it is. But again, main thing is for what? Sannyas is to be taken for what reason?
To renounce things and do bhakti,
That's right. And why do you renounce things?
so that we can focus more on bhakti,
And why do you do bhakti?
to love Krishna, to regain our consciousness as we discussed.
Yeah, to revive our consciousness. Is it going to help you? Then do it. Whatever helps our reviving of Krishna consciousness and keeping ourselves in a position, we must do. Simple. Nobody should obstruct anywhere. Use your intelligence in this. So that is the thing. But you have to renounce things. So voluntarily renounce, which you have got, renounce it. Bare minimum, starting with your food, with your tongue, with your speech, with your atyahara, collecting more for the necessary and speaking more and eating more food for necessary. So the same process you must do. Become a sannyasi. What's stopping this? The choice is ours, and nobody should give this choice away. Does it answer your question?
Yes, Guru. Can I ask something regarding this topic?
Yeah, please continue. No problem. If you want to grow the discussion, please feel free.
So, Prabhuji, if we like take the example of Srila Prabhupada, so Srila Prabhupada like formally took sannyas after some years, but being a pure devotee, whatever he did, he was not attached to anything like material things. So we could say that even before taking formally sannyas, he was actually sannyasi throughout his whole life. So, how does those two things differ? Is it just for like uh, telling people that I'm taking sannyas now, and we have studied in Bhagavad Gita that even when you work, you can become a sannyasi. That verse come sa sannyasi cha yogi cha, I think I remember that. So, how does those two things differ, Prabhuji?
So your question is exactly what you are asking that if a sannyasi, do you really want to become, although you can work, you're already sannyasi, why did Prabhupada take sannyas? Because Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj instructed him to preach Krishna consciousness around the world. Yeah. And if he has to establish things, then he has to do all these processes. But sannyas is not needed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had not taken sannyas before, year 24. But his disciples, Mahaprabhu's disciples, did not follow him very strictly, They thought, oh well, he's just a young boy, some of them must be older than him. So to become serious, he actually took sannyas, accepted sannyas order. So people take him seriously. And even today, a person may be a very big scholar, a very big sannyasi without the dress, but people won't take him seriously. When he becomes His Holiness somewhere, or the dress he wears, then people will fall down on the feet. So, but these are main important things. You can't own anything, and you cannot stay in one place for more than 3 days. There are many rules and do's and don'ts, but those are not there for a grahastha or a vanaprastha. Yeah, so that's why it is recommended not to do. But if you want to do, you can do. Is that all right?
Yes, Guruji.
Sure.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to say anything or any questions on this topic? Or wants to say anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Pradyum Prabhu, also for asking these questions. They're very beneficial for me as well. I wanted to ask just in relation to the sannyas. So, like, does it translate in a similar way for women as well? That just in practice or in theory, you become detached to things, but not in like it's not allowed for women, of course. But like I just wanted to understand how sannyas as we are practicing it translates for women in general.
Same thing, detached. Generally, for women, it's a little difficult. But we cannot generalize, but generally it is said. Just but it's a mother, no? Mother cannot be as detached, you know, as a father or whatever the things are, may not. But we cannot in spiritual things you cannot discriminate. Everybody is equal on this. Yeah. So one can be and one has to be. One has to be detached over a period of time, not at a young age. Right now, all of you people, life is just about to start. So you cannot be detached on this. You can be a little bit. Men are a little bit more. You can start a family a little bit detached. Women cannot be to that extent. They're so busy with so many things. But as time progresses, this thing should be there in your heart always to say detachment. It's needed detachment or attachment to Krishna, because detachment from material world. Yeah. Is this answer your question, mother?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay. We'll wait for 10 more seconds if anybody else wants to say anything. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah, other questions, Prabhuji?
No, Guruji, I had these two questions written.
Oh, you had only two questions. Okay. So we completed the two questions. Other questions were there from others, but they're not there. Is Om Prabhu there? No. Shushti Mataji, maybe she's not able to this thing, but if you have any questions, I mean, her questions somebody else can ask, or she can write down. Because she's unwell, no?
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Yes, tell me.
Guruji, I was thinking about it, so I had another question. So you can I ask that or not?
Okay.
Just as we like discuss about sannyas, which comes under ashrams, the four ashrams. So is it the same concept for the world also? That a brahmana, like for example, we are brahmanical, like we talk of brahmanical qualities. So is that also same thing that we practice it? Not like actually, like brahmanas also have a very they have so many rules. They have to wear those thread and everything, like I see in my family also. But the main thing is that having those brahmanical qualities. So is that the same? The concept is the same for that also.
Yes, it is. What do you think? You tell me. As a young man, what do you think?
That makes more sense, Prabhuji, that we have those qualities.
That's it. Actually, this is correct. No point. By birth, nobody is a Brahman. By birth, everybody is Shudra or less. That's why one has to get trained to learn these qualities. But according to, not everybody can become a Brahmana. If your quality of nature is that of a Kshatriya, you don't force yourself to be a Brahmana. So you must identify what your qualities are and use it for Krishna. So you may be Vaishya motivated, then you can be involved in a lot of activities for Vaishya, as a Vaishya, the business, for Krishna's sake. You may not be very inclined towards philosophy. At least you must accept this situation. But nowadays, even a Vaishya person or a Kshatriya mood, nature person or a Shudra nature person, after a few months they get Brahman thread, initiation. And they continue with their own mood there, whatever they have got. So it's a little baffling. So most important thing is if you want to change, you can change your varna. You may be born as a Vaishya, for example, in a Vaishya family or as a Vaishya tendency, but it can change to a Brahmana tendency if you want to. Generally, it is a bit hard. Okay, but it's up to you. Again, if you do it, that's required. But you can't go and tell people, I'm now Brahmana now. Nobody will believe you. Or I'm Brahmana in this organization. Say, everybody is organization. Here you're not that organization. You see? So all this remains at a superficial level. So it's a very personal process. Any self-realization process is a very personal process. We have to choose what we want to do. Whereas what we have been taught is that somebody else will choose for you. Why will they choose for you? Even if they tell you, they'll say, do this, do this, do this. If you don't follow, what can they do? Ultimately, you have to do it. We have to flap our wings alone. That is the reason why we keep everything open. We cannot keep things closed or authoritarian or this is the only way, that is the only thing. No. In an organization, you can have this organization way. That's fine. But we don't want to do that also here. I don't want to create this structure in a way. We should be very clean and open. This is knowledge. You do what you want to do. Decide and do. So you are responsible for your own actions. You cannot say somebody else took the decision for me. That is wrong. Why did you do this? Because he told me to do it. Great stuff. But you don't have intelligence yourself? Yeah. Is it all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
So be very careful of these things. Nobody can clamp down on to say that, no, bhakti means this. No, bhakti means this, bhakti means that. Yeah, that's right. Chanting of the holy name is also bhakti. Preaching is also bhakti. Cooking for Krishna is also bhakti. You know, everything is bhakti. But how much we can remember Krishna is the most important thing. That is the only important thing. And then Krishna will remember you. Just like a man falls in love with a woman, with a girl, I love you, you love me. So they don't require an impetus to love the person. Correct? They love, but that's how it is, material world also. Similarly, there's the same thing with Krishna. Does a person require a certificate from somebody how much you love this person? You tell me. You require, I love this girl very much, I love that boy very much, all these things. You require certificate, only is a 50% pass mark. No, I love that person. What do you mean? Get out of here. I'm in my, leave me alone. I'm morose in my life. I'm crying here. So you're crying, or laughing, whatever you do, You do whatever you want to do. It's your business. But you don't require certificate from some other people, correct? In fact, you don't even require certificate from the person you love. And that's exactly what Krishna consciousness is. Because it's a perverted reflection. What is that? The Shiksastakam? Krishna can do anything and everything. For he'll always remember worshiping Lord unconditionally. That's it. Just somebody was saying, oh well, Krishna love. I said, we do not know whether Krishna loves us or not. But I'm very satisfied. I'm loving Krishna. I'm trying to love Krishna. There is more satisfaction. You tell me now, if this is true for a person to think like this, that I do not know if Krishna loves me, but I love him very much. And my love is not dependent upon how much Krishna loves me. Because I'm sure he's loving me. I'm not realizing it. But I don't require a certificate from you. Yeah, he is loving Krishna. I certify that by doing this signature. By who are you to signature this? Yeah, that's why you earn money. Chant your Hare Krishna, read whatever remembers. I love Krishna by cooking. Cook every day. Cook big feast and distribute prasadam. If you remember Krishna, makes you love Krishna. If I love Krishna by chanting, chant as much as possible. I learn by studying, study. I remember Krishna by remembering verses, remember verses. I remember Krishna by everything. Everything should be done. Everything should be done. A whole consciousness. This is what it's called. Process of Krishna consciousness. It's a consciousness change. That's a mood. That's a meaning behind it. I love him. I do everything for him. Why do you do this? Because I love Krishna. Why you don't do this? Because I love Krishna. And how do you know what is to be loving Krishna? I read books. What Krishna says, Man mana bhav mad bhakto majyaji mam namaskaru. Offer obeisances to me, for become my devotee. That's what I'm doing. How can I say you cannot become a devotee? Only if you do this, you become devotee. Oh, good for you, man. Instructions are always there and are given to you freely. Approach a guru to do what? Sit beside him, wash his feet. To do service, yes. And then take instructions. Because instructions will not come without doing service. In preaching, instructions are coming to all of us without our impetus. What service have we done so far? And what knowledge is given to you? Is there any question beneath? Can you say that I've done so much service, I'm getting so much knowledge? No, they're always imbalanced. The knowledge is given more than service has been done. So look for opportunities to do service. How can I do to serve you? What should I do to serve? I'm getting this knowledge. Yeah, that is the meaning of Tad Vidhi Paripatena, Pariprasthena Sevaya. And then it will come. Not in a Sattvadarshina. The Tattvadarshi knowledge will be revealed accordingly. You see? Yeah, and knowledge is there. Read, study, under guidance, knowledge is revealed to you. It's not from one person knowledge goes to the other person like this. Yeah, mercy is there. Mercy is needed. It's very much the process of mercy. That is, Prabhupada says this. I was saying this one in, I think, Wednesday class. I was saying, one of the Wednesday class, that this is correct. That bhakti depends more or less upon the Guru's mercy. Full stop. Prabhupada writes this. It's correct. More or less, it is completely dependent upon Guru's mercy. Prabhupada writes this. I think the second canto or third canto. We should understand the meaning behind it. What does it mean? And who's that Guru? You see? So it's not that, again, Prabhupada, it doesn't mean that you from one person to next person, there's a light goes, or he Prabhupada writes that also in the same purport, not that way. No. It is dependent upon the how much you can serve and please the spiritual master. That's it. It's pleased, you get. And here mercy is always there, flowing. If it depends upon us how much we are taking the mercy or not. And that's it. Simple. No complications. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you so much.
Good. Now I think we'll have to complete the discussion soon now. Anyone has to say anything about what we discussed? Any questions so far? Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. So now how many devotees' questions are remaining now? Still two or one? Because we don't know about Om Prabhu. His questions are there. His questions were there. Shushti Mataji's questions were also there. We're not discussed, right? Okay. So probably next week again it will continue. Yeah, this question answers, and then we'll see how it goes. If anyone of you still have anything to say, just feel free to ask this. Sure. But remember this. I do not like when we should not wrong way to say things. What I'm trying to say is that we should not forget the first point, second point. If we are on the 10th point, don't forget the first 9 points. That's why referring to them knowledge is better, always important. I always face a difficulty with people. Every week they will come and say, "Tell me now, I'm ready to listen to you." So what happened past week, probably forgotten. That's why I made them write down now. I also tell them, you write down, make notes. So they would make make some books and write down notes and all those things, but they would not study the notes, Again, next week, again, very fresh. Tell me, I'm very happy to learn. They're better than others who are not interested, much better. But it should be frustrated, come back to the same level again and again and again. In fact, we had a case where once, so many years ago, we did Sadhu of Self-Realization, we did Nectar of Instruction, we did Sishopanishad, and we actually, I said, no, you guys have not understood anything there. We'll start back. So we started back to Sadhu of Self-Realization, the whole class. Because you're blank again, So no, write down things. So Science of Self-Realization book, and this we have studied so many times, and it is still new to me. Prabhupada's teachings, Okay. So we conclude now, and we take a few minutes break, and we come back at 5 o'clock then. Jai.